What's up, YouTube? HPJ here, and I'm coming at you guys today with the Crystal Beast deck profile. So, Crystal Beast, we're also in the running for the structure deck poll held by Konami, and this is one of the decks that is also mainly based off of a character from the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX series. There's a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX stuff featured in here. I think a good portion of it was Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. But this one takes a heart to a lot of fans of the Crystal Beast. And of course, their signature boss monster, Rainbow Dragon. Rainbow Dragon, honestly, surprisingly enough, has two names. But because of the weird translation thing, I think they did fix him up to where he did have the text in it. Yeah, it says it right there. Ultimate Crystal. So funny enough, in the Japanese translation for Rainbow Dragon, Rainbow Dark Dragon, and Malefic Rainbow Dark Dragon, they're actually supposed to be called Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon, Ultimate Crystal Dark Rainbow Dragon, or Dark Ultimate Crystal. It's a real name, but it's real situation of the Crystal Ultimate Crystal name, and that's pretty much what they're supposed to be based on. Because it was some word translation things, you can't call them Ultima, because Ultima is the known name for the ultimate magic spell in a couple of Final Fantasy games. So maybe that's part of the reason why. I don't know, but we got the deck profile here for them, and they did get some support as well. Like a lot of these decks that I'm doing now, the last couple of them, I didn't know had a lot of support coming out for them because I don't pay too much attention to them. The only sad part about this is the TCG does not have the pendulum monsters that are for the Crystal Beast, and their design is based off of the anime user himself. Excuse me, the anime user of the Crystal Beast, and that's Jesse Anderson, which I'm shocked because Jesse is very known for the Crystal Beast, and this is his signature deck and archetype. But yeah, without further ado, you guys, let's get into it. So, for the Crystal Beast, I'm rocking 3 copies of Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus, 3 Crystal Beast Ruby Carbuncle, 2 Crystal Beast Topaz Tiger, 2 Crystal Beast Cobalt Eagle, and 1 each of Crystal Beast Ember Mammoth, Crystal Beast Amethyst Cat, and Crystal Beast Emerald Tortoise. I'm running 1 copy of the Ever Faithful Rainbow Dragon, 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs, and 1 copy of Haman, the Lord of Searing Thunder. For the spells of the deck, I'm rocking 3 copies of Rainbow Bridge, 2 copies of Crystal Bond, 2 copies of Rare Value, 2 copies of Crystal Promise, 2 copies of Crystal Abundance, 2 copies of Crystal Tree, 1 copy each of Crystal Blessing, Crystal Beacon, and Ancient City Rainbow Ruins. For the traps, I'm running 2 copies of Torrential Tribute, 2 copies of Ultimate Crystal Magic, and 2 copies of Crystal Horde. For the extra deck, I'm rocking 2 copies of Rainbow Over Dragon, the Utopia package of Utopia Array, and Utopia the Lightning, 1 copy of number 82, Heartland Drago, 1 copy of Lightning Chidori, 1 copy of Abyss Dweller, 1 copy of Gaga Cowboy. And then for my Link monsters, I'm running 2 copies of Firefighting Daruma Doll, 1 copy of Nightmare Cerberus, 1 copy of Nightmare Phoenix, and 1 copy of Nightmare Unicorn, with the last monster being 1 copy of Earl Sword Dragon. So that's pretty much it for both the main and the extra deck. So let's go over it. Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus. This is the monster. This and Ruby Carbuncle are 2 of the main monsters that you want to be circled around in this deck. Sapphire Pegasus has the ability that when this card is summoned, you can place 1 Crystal Beast monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard into the spell and trap zone, and they are treated as a continuous spell card. So if this card is a face-up card, just like any of the other Crystal Beasts, is destroyed while in the monster zone, you can place these cards in your spell and trap zone as continuous spells instead of sending them to the graveyard. Next up is Ruby Carbuncle. Whenever this card is special summoned, you can special summon as many Crystal Beast monsters as possible from your spell and trap card zone. If this card I'm sorry, because I'm about to read the same effect that all the other monsters have. I'm rocking 2 copies of Topaz Tiger. When this monster attacks, it gains 400 attack during the damage step only. And this is actually one of the monsters that you can easily run 3 of, but I really just see it as a 2 of just because it's not that big in attack. The only one that really is big in attack happens to be Pegasus. And they don't have a 1900 attacker at all. So it was just one of those things. Okay, well, it's just striking for damage. So we'll just have it strike for its damage. 2 copies of Cobalt Eagle. This monster can target a face of Crystal Beast card you control and return it to the deck. That's really not much of its use. We do have to unfortunately use it because we have to help it send out Rainbow Dragon. But yeah, I mean, it's just really just a winged beast monster. That's why Chidori's here to combine it with Sapphire Pegasus and have it trained off there. The one-ofs are pretty much just one-of. You have Amber Mammoth, which while it's on the field, your opponent cannot attack must attack this monster as a target instead of your other Crystal Beasts. If it had more attack or defense, it'd probably be more of a viable target. Unfortunately, it's not. Amethyst Cat can attack your opponent directly, but any damage she'll inflict is cut in half. Only when it's using this effect, though. And then Emerald Tortoise will target one monster you control that attack this turn and can change it to defense position. And that's pretty much about it. So, Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon. So, you need... this card cannot be normal summon or set. Must be summoned from your hand by having 7 Crystal Beast monsters with different... Crystal Beast cards with different names on your field or in your graveyard. And you cannot activate the following effects to turn this card is summoned, which sucks. But his quick effect is that you can send all Crystal Beast cards you control to the graveyard. This card gains 1000 attack for each one that's sent to the graveyard. You can banish all Crystal Beast monsters from your graveyard to shuffle all cards on the field, back into the deck. So you have 2 of those options for this big guy, but I'm not too much of a big fan of Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, which is funny because this is their ultimate monster. You can also say that about a lot of ultimate monsters. But the thing about Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon is that's what I'm calling him, Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon, because that's what his name is in Japanese. And I don't understand why they just couldn't put that in his title. But yeah, it's really weird about Rainbow Dragon, because Rainbow Dragon does have a lot of setup with, one major setup, and that's with not Utopia, I was to say, with Neos. They have a fusion monster together, Rainbow Neos. It's very odd that, despite the fact that this is technically a boss monster, it's just really, it's very situational effect. It's very hard to bring out. There's a trap card, which I'll talk about in a minute, that does help bring it out. But yeah, this is just Rainbow Dragon itself. Just a really big attacking monster that can do a lot of big damage, but is relegated to being locked behind its archetype, the Crystal Beast. I'm rocking 3 copies of Ash Blossom Joyous Spring to at least help the deck out in any possible way or form. And in Haman, Lord of Searing Thunder. If you guys haven't checked out my Sacred Beast deck, he's also in that as well because he's a Sacred Beast. But the thing about Haman is that because the Crystal Beasts themselves are continuous spells when they're in the graveyard, on the field, in the spell trap zone, you can send them off to basically summon Haman. So you at least have a giant walled monster with some decent enough stats. Some very good stats, actually. But it's just one of those situational cards that people play because of how this works out. I could also rock the Dragon Queen of Tragic Endings, but Haman's just a lot better. So now let's go into the spell cards. So we have the search card for the Crystal Beast spells and traps. This is Crystal Bridge. You can add 1 crystal spell or trap card to your hand. I'm shocked that this card didn't get attacks of this card is also created as a useful card. But then probably too broken because then it could just search out for itself. This is actually very new because I did not know this card had came out at all. So I'm actually looking at this card for the first time. Actually, because it took a while for me to build this up, and I was like, they have a card to search for their spells and traps. That's really cool. So we're rocking 3 of them. We have Crystal Bond, normal spell. This you to add a Crystal Beast monster from your hand, and then place a Crystal Beast monster from your deck with a different name in your spell and trap card zone. So that can help you get to your Crystal Beast, your Ultimate Dragon, a lot better. I'm sorry, a lot faster. We have rare value, which is their their trade in. If you control two or more Crystal Beast monsters, your opponent targets chooses one of them, sends it to grave, but you draw 2 cards for it. Um, 2 was probably just a good enough option. I don't really think it needs to be any more than that. I'm rocking 2 Crystal Promise, so I can switch some of the Crystal Beasts from my Spell and Trap zone, primarily either Ruby Carbuncle or Sapphire Pegasus because of their effects. Crystal Abundance. So let's talk about this crystal spell. If you send 4 Crystal Beast cards in your spell and trap card zone to the graveyard, send all cards on the field to the graveyard. This has summon as many Crystal Beast cards as possible up to the number of cards your opponent controlled that were sent to the graveyard by this card's effect. So, because it's not say destroy, it said send. A lot of cards cannot get over this. This is actually the rare occasion of a card wiping the field completely. And then the biggest benefit is to summon all the Crystal Beasts because of this card's effect. Only running 2 because I think, like this, honestly, with the way this game is working itself now, you just gotta be careful of how many cards you run, how offensive or defensive you can get with a deck. And sometimes most of your deck does lose its value, but if it can help out, it can help out. The Crystal Tree. So this is continuous spell card. Every time you summon a Crystal Beast monster, put a Crystal Beast monster into the spell trap zone, this card will get a crystal counter. You can take the number of crystal counters off of this card to target one Crystal Beast monsters in your graveyard or in your deck, and Crystal Beast in your deck by sending this card to graveyard to put those monsters in your spell and trap card zone. So that helps you with all of them. I'm rocking 1 Crystal Blessing. This allows you to target 2 of your Crystal Beast monsters, put them in your spell and trap card zone. Crystal Beacon allows you to summon a Crystal Beast monster from your deck, but you have to have 2 or more Crystal Beast monsters in your spell and trap card zone to activate and resolve this card's effect. And then we have the big card itself. This is Ancient City Rainbow Ruin. Why am I only running 1? I don't know. I kind of feel like I should be running 2 of these, but so the number of Crystal Beast cards you have in your spell and trap card zone will allow this card to activate and resolve all of its effects. The first effect, of course, is that this card cannot be destroyed by card effect. If you have 2 or more, this card, once a turn, you can have the battle damage that you would take. 3 or more, when a spell card is activated, you can send 1 Crystal Beast monster to your graveyard to negate the activation of that card and destroy it. If you have 4 or more, once a turn, you can draw a card. And 5 or more, once a turn during your main phase, you target 1 Crystal Beast monster in your spell trap card zone and set a summon. So this is very much the Crystal Beast spell card, which is also ironic because Ancient City Rainbow Ruin, part of the Ruin is actually shown in Rainbow Bridge, which is also a nice detail to that. But this is pretty much their spell card, their field spell. I'm just as shocked as anyone else that I'm not running multiple of this, because I honestly think I could fit in another one in place of it. And this is pretty much the most offensive and defensive field spell in the game, and how much of a synergy it has with the archetype itself. So, Torrential Tribute, we're going to move on to the spells. This doesn't hurt this deck because all of the monsters, pretty much for the most part, will go to the back row because they're going to be destroyed. So this pretty much just helps you get a free clearance of your opponent's board. Let's talk about the Ultimate Crystal Magic. So, this card says if you control, when your Crystal Beast monsters is destroyed by battle, you can send 7 Crystal Beast cards from your deck with a different name from your hand, deck, and or face up on your field or field to the graveyard. To summon 1 Ultimate Crystal Fusion monster from your extra deck. If a face up Ultimate Crystal monster leaves the field because it was done by your opponent's card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard to target any number of Crystal Beast monsters in your graveyard and put them into your spell or trap card zone. So this pretty much helps you get out their fusion monster. Yeah, they have a fusion monster. Not 1, but 2. And that is the Rainbow Overdragon, who I'll talk about when I get to the extra deck. But this allows you to pretty much get into the Crystal Beast cards a little faster. And this helps you get into their big monster, which is amazing itself. Because, like I said, there's a lot of Crystal Beast cards that came out. Just a lot of them were not pointed around. Next off is Crystal Horde. Once a turn, you can target a faceless Crystal Beast monster you control. There's just when a faceless Crystal Beast monster you control is destroyed by a card effect. Besides summon a Crystal Beast monster from your deck. When this you can send this faceless card to the graveyard. Then target one Crystal Beast monster on your field, and one of your cards, Crystal Beast monster cards you control, and one card on the field. Return those cards to hand. You cannot activate these effects in the same chain. Pretty much, this just helps you get out Crystal Beast. It helps you fill up the field with Crystal Beast, which isn't too bad. Like I said, the Crystal cards do at least have some search now thanks to Rainbow Bridge. So that's pretty much it for the main deck. We're moving on to Rainbow Overdragon. You need 7 Crystal Beast monsters. This card is treated as an Ultimate Crystal card, so I'm pretty sure in the OCG is probably called Ultima Crystal Rainbow Overdragon. So in order for this card to be summoned, you can either this card must be either fusion summon or special summon by distributing one Ultimate Crystal monster, level 10 Ultimate Crystal monster, which in case you do not need to use polymerization. So you pretty much use Rainbow Dark Dragon or Rainbow Dragon itself to summon this. And then its effect reads: once a turn, you can banish one Crystal Beast monster. Banish one Crystal Beast monster from your graveyard to gain attack equal to the banished monster until the end of the turn. Then click effect. You contribute this fusion summon card to shuffle all cards on the field back into the deck. So it's pretty much a fusion variation of Rainbow Dragon. And that's all it is. It's just a fusion equivalent of Rainbow Dragon. Ironically enough, because it has Ultimate Crystal in its name, so it was probably changed from Ultima into Ultimate Crystal section. Like, this is weird with their names, but yeah, this is pretty much just another essential Rainbow Dragon. It's nothing too big, nothing fancy, but luckily enough, the extra deck allows the main deck itself to support itself in case it can't get into its crystal monsters. So of course, that just means going through the easy lineup here: Utopia, Utopia Array, and Utopia the Lightning for the Utopia package. Number 82, Heartland Draco. Because you have all these Crystal Beasts that treat themselves as continuous spells, you can easily activate this monster. You can easily have this monster swing at your opponent directly by detaching material from it, and your opponent can attack it because you, cannot attack. Yeah, and this monster cannot be targeted for an attack because you control continuous spell cards. So it's not too bad there. The Lightning Chidori to help with removal. Abyss Dweller to deal with graveyard effects. Cowboy for that 800 points of damage. Being one of the most viable rank 4 monsters, it's no surprise I'm running a Barrel Sword Dragon in this extra deck because it has so many great usage with itself. I'm running the Nightmare Engine, of course, because Unicorn, Phoenix, and Cerberus are really good monsters to have on reliability. And then we have Firefighting Daruma Doll. So there are a lot of beast and winged beast monsters in the Crystal Beast archetype, so you can take advantage of that. You can pop a Crystal Beast monster in your spell and trap card zone, pop one of your opponent's spell traps, and benefit from that. So that's pretty much it for this deck profile. I hope you guys enjoy. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I will catch you guys next time. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you guys can be informed when I do some more videos. Alright guys, HJ signing out.